Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm home from a long day of work and starting dinner. We're going to have some homemade vegetable soup tonight, more like a stew, and also grilled cheese and some pineapple. Here I am mixing some chopped onions, and I chopped some baby red potatoes up in a pan and sauteed them until the onions were translucent. And now I'm going to add a can of tomato sauce, diced tomatoes, some beef broth, a can of green beans, and a can of corn. Wipe those tops off, everyone, because there's germs and yucky stuff on there from storage. I always heard rat poop or anything else from being in storage. Put all of that in the pot, and then I fill the tomato can halfway up and add some water. Stir it all together. And then we're going to add some seasonings to the top of this, and that will be everything for this soup. We'll let it simmer for about 20 minutes until the potatoes are softened, and it will be ready to eat. Now, if you had any of this stuff frozen, you could have also used it. Here's my seasonings: Italian seasoning, bay leaves, and chili powder. I'm using ancho chili powder, but if you just have regular, that's fine also. I put 2 bay leaves in. I'm going to cover the top of the soup with the Italian seasoning, but first I'm adding the chili powder, and I just put about, I don't know, 1/4 teaspoon. And now here we go with the Italian seasoning. This gives it a really good flavor. You just cover the top with it. I finished off my jar. Add that to it, and then stir it all up. And like I said before, if you had, y'all saw me freezing stuff the other day, I could have saved money if I would have used my frozen potatoes, my frozen green beans, my frozen corn. I also could have used water and just added a beef seasoning instead of actually using beef broth. Here it is after it has simmered. The potatoes aren't quite softened yet, but you see it just took me a few minutes to throw this together. It's definitely a 30-minute meal. Here is what I'm going to use to make my grilled cheese. We have Duke's mayonnaise, Colby Jack cheese, and some honey wheat bread. We use about a whole loaf of bread because we have 5 in our family, and a couple of the people in our family eat 2 grilled cheese. Of course, you wouldn't have to have this with your meal, but we're adding it on because my daughter requested it. I don't use butter to make my grilled cheese. I learned several years ago to use mayonnaise, and it gives it a really good flavor. I don't put mayonnaise on the inside where the cheese is. I just put it on the outside. I cover the outside, and then I put that downside on the pan. Hello, Winnie. And then we're going to add our cheese to the bread. You can use any kind of cheese you want to. Sometimes I use 2 different kinds. This time we're just going to use 1 slice on each one because things are expensive and we're trying to save and cut in any way we can. I noticed that one had 2 slices on it, so I pulled it off. So after you add the cheese, then you're going to do the same thing to your top 2 pieces of bread. You're going to layer the mayonnaise on them and put that upside. So you're going to put the non-mayonnaise side down on the cheese, and then the one with mayonnaise is going to be up. And you'll just let these cook in the frying pan until they brown to your liking on one side, and then it'll flip them. As you see, the mayonnaise side is going up. There's our other dog, Molly. They like to be in the kitchen when I'm cooking because they think they're going to get pieces of food. We're also going to have a pineapple. These pineapples were on sale in Food Line, so we are having some. Pineapple is so good. It's a great fruit, very beneficial and healthy for our bodies. I cut the tops off and I put them. I have a bag right beside me to put the trash in. And then I cut the sides off of the watermelon. I just said watermelon. It's not a watermelon, it's a pineapple. I cut the sides off of the pineapple. And we need to flip the grilled cheese. It looks good, so I'm going to flip it. And as you notice, I'm cutting this pineapple up in the time that it took for the grilled cheese to cook. So this meal is definitely a quick 30-minute or less meal. It's quickly thrown together, and you could have actually put it in the crock pot and even made it a quicker meal because it could have stewed all day, and then thrown these things together when you got home. But then I slice around the sides and I just leave the core in the middle that we don't eat, and then slice it in chunks or slices or however you want to eat it. We slice ours up in small to medium sizes to eat. Put that in a Tupperware container and it will already be ready for us at dinner time. And right when I finish getting these sliced up and put away, the grilled cheese will be done and ready to take out of the pan and put in our plate and have them ready. See, both sides look wonderful. And I'm gonna put these on my Dora plate. And as you see, everything is ready. We got our soup nice and hot and bubbly and ready, and we got our pineapple and then our grilled cheese. Here's what I spent. I wanted to go through this to show you. Onion, 20 cents, handful of red potatoes for $2, some olive oil, which most people have oil on hand, canned diced tomatoes, which you could have saved if you would use frozen ones that you already had, the tomato sauce. I was mainly using my cans because I had these already. And I'm trying to save my frozen stuff for winter. Sorry about that. Then we have our beef broth, which you could also save if you used like a bouillon cube or something. Green beans and corn, some seasonings. The sirloin is what cost the most money. It was actually half off. It should have been $24, but I only paid $12 for it, and that's the reason I bought it. But if you used a ground beef, it would have been cheaper. And then we had, we're going to use about a whole loaf of bread, which was $2.49. The mayo, I rounded about 25 cents. And cheese was $3. Then I got the pineapple for $1.99, which came to a grand total of $28.09, which was about $5.60 a person for a family of 5. Now, there were definitely ways you could cut even cheaper on this, but this was a good, cheap, quick 30-minute meal. Thanks. Remember to like and subscribe if you like this.